Alright, here's a quick one for you. Just pulling the stereo system out of Kia. I'm not pulling one out, I've just finished installing that one. But before I put it back together, because I didn't know how to pull it apart before I started, so I figured I'd do a reverse video. And instead of pulling it apart, I'll show you how I'm putting it back together. The one thing that I challenged was getting these USBs in. The stereo has two USB cables that come out from the back. They both can be used for USB, but one of them is particular, has 3G, so it has data cables in that one. This one here is just charging. Okay, so there's a little point at the back here. I found this is the best spot. I've tried everywhere else. I just trimmed a little bit off the back there, bring the cables out there, put it on, and that sits nice and snug there. So anyway, pulling this center off so you can get to the stereo, you first want to take this off. Now they do just pull off, and they've got clips like this, but they are really tight on there. So you first think you don't want to pull, when it's first on there, you're pulling really hard and you're thinking it's not going to come off. It actually does. It's just really tight on there. This is for 2007 Kia Grand Carnival or Grand Sedona. So once you've taken that cover there off, you then take the clock cover off. Same deal, it's just clips. There's no screws holding that on. And then you undo the screws to these vents here, and you take these vents off. Now that's just resting there because that's also really hard to get off. And the stereo case just fell off then. That's okay. So then you get to that point there and you can undo the stereo and take the stereo out and do whatever you want with it. And the trick of putting it back in is you've got to remove the cover. It's also got screw holes in the top, so something else in a different model, I guess there's an extra that can be bolted there. But anyway, to put the stereo back in, undo these two screws, take that plate off, so you can put your hand behind there and guide the cables so you can get the stereo back nicely and put it all in. And then putting it all back together, it's just a matter of clipping it all back in. I am putting it back together right now so that can go in there, and I'll have to find a screw to put back in there. It's around here somewhere. I've got enough mess in here, and I'll have to plug that in as well, the clock, to put that back in. But yeah, I'm finished here. I just wanted to show you putting it all back together. So anybody that wanted to change a stereo in a Kia Grand Carnival 2007 Grand Sedona, that's how all that comes all apart. It's just clipped in, and you feel comfortable to give it a little bit of force to unclip it, and try and use something that's plastic to wedge between the materials, because that's ABS plastic and that's ABS plastic, and if you use a screwdriver you're only going to damage it. You need to use plastic to separate them. Once you get your fingers in there behind a little bit, just give it a bit of a firm grip there and take it out, and she'll be right. So that's it. That's all this video is. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. And sorry, one last thing, not to forget it. The automatic gear shift here. I took that off. You don't have to. You just pull that out and just unplug the cigarette lighters, and spin this cover around, and you can do everything I just told you. But I did go for the effort of taking this off as well, because I didn't know. And putting that back on is quite simple if you happen to do the same thing. The gear shift, that funny piece faces that way, and you just put that on. The screw holes go to the front, and then put the screws in, which are these synced type looking screws. If the phone will get focus on that, there you go. And they go in the back there, and that's it. And that's pretty much job done. Everything's already clipped back in, and we're done. Cheers.